Okay, so let me just correct you.
Well, I was okay. I didn't even say anything.
I actually think
I look like David Beckham.
this is. I was going to say David Blaine. Do you know who that is? You strike me.
Is he the magician guy?
He is.
Yeah.
He's the magician, but he's the magician that's like,
The celebrity magician.
I'm going to eat a litter of puppies and then stand in the middle of Times Square for the next week. Like do you know what I mean? Like he doesn't just do close-up street magic.
Right.
He does like
crazy.
I'm going to live underwater for a week. Or I'm going to what are some of the other things he's done? I'm going to like bury myself up to the neck in cement for a week.
I mean,
right? Like he tries to test the human body.
Right.
Yeah. How do we get on this? David Beckham.
Well,
you sound like David Beckham.
I brought Stella Artois. And I was recently watching an interview with him, and he's sponsored by them. And
right.
The product placement worked because when I was grabbing beer today, I'm like, oh, I'll get that.
I don't think
I'll look like David Beckham.
I don't think you look like David Beckham, which is not an insult.
Well,
but I also don't think you sound like David Beckham, and that's a compliment. So
I was about to start having like a really bad British accent, and I'm just going to stop it.
Well, I don't think your voice can go that high.
I will never find out.
No, but what I was going to say is I actually think that this is, and I've been thinking this since watching the film. Before we introduce anything.
Okay.
I think this is one of the more complicated and more difficult reviews that we've possibly ever done on this show.
What?
Hello and welcome.
Welcome to the Movie Men Podcast. I am not David Beckham. I am Peter. And
I'm not David Beckham either.
And not, is it Vanilla Spice? Which one is he married to?
I don't know.
Not the Spice Girl next to me is Brady.
Soccer Spice? Who?
Soccer Spice. I should know. It's
which? Bicycle Kick Spice?
No. As soon as you say it, Victoria Spice
is
Sugar and Spice.
Victoria Beckham.
Yeah, Victoria Beckham.
She was posh.
Posh
Spice.
Posh. Too posh to push, as they said back in the day. And then she had a C-section, and she was pretty upset about it.
I liked Baby Spice.
I don't remember them all. It's kind of like Cheerleader Effect. I just remember them as a group and like their songs, but I don't like if they could walk into your house literally right now, and I'd go.
You know what? I don't even remember their songs. I remember I Know Wannabe.
Yeah.
Right. Like I don't. If you asked me name 5 Spice Girl songs,
it'd be pretty tough.
You'd be here a long time. I would just be making up names and hoping to get lucky.
Right.
Yeah. Phantom of the Opera.
So why is this going to be so difficult? Let me just say, it's a review. Sorry, I should intro a bit more. Welcome to the show. We are here. This is a voting episode, much like real life votes, where it takes years of recounting and turmoil to find out the results. We are finally here to review our musicals vote, where we had quite a few options, and Phantom of the Opera came out on top. And while I get the list of voting options, why is this going to be so difficult?
Well, because I don't know. No, because it is. There was a lot of thoughts that I had while watching the film.
Sure, that's good. That can be good or bad.
Which both, all three affirmed that A, I was capable of reviewing it. B, that I was still alive.
Good.
But 3, that like what I realized while, either the thought would either a criticism, an opinion would pop into my head, positive or negative.
Sure.
And then what I would realize for some of them was, but this isn't really like anything that was story or character related was not indicative necessarily of the film. It was, that is the Broadway production though, right? If I'm like, it's stupid that the Phantom does this, that's not the film's fault, right? And so there's a lot of, I think there's a finite amount of things that we can actually pick apart because a lot of them are like, well, I didn't like this. And it's like, well, then you wouldn't like the Broadway production either. And that wasn't a decision that this film made. I mean, outside of staying faithful to...
We've had this problem before when we've done musicals or whatever it is where it's based on another piece of fiction. And I think for the sake of this episode, gloves should just come off. My thought is because there is artistic direction they could have taken. So they could have had Posh Spice being... like literally her actual character, like now. she just walked across stage, and like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
there's still artistic direction they could have chosen.
Sure.
And so, just for the sake of this, I think if you don't like a decision that was happened, you critique this film.
I guess.
Don't necessarily. I get where you're coming from. There's a method of thought.
I think
to that.
I'm going to be a little bit more lenient on the story,
and I get that.
Like to me, it's the same as like if someone had said, well, I watched The Lord of the Rings yesterday, and I think it's stupid that the hobbits are so short. And it's like, you know, he's like, wow, what was Peter Jackson thinking? Well, it's not,
right.
You know.
See, I thought you were going to say this is difficult because of the director carryover of Batman and Robin.
Well, I mean, there's and Batman Forever, but we will, I didn't realize. I got to be honest. I did not realize until his name popped up in the ending credits.
Right.
Maybe it was in opening credits as well, and I didn't notice it. I missed it.
Yep.
But when that popped up, I was like, I audibly, like, I almost came up off of the couch, and I was like, Joel Schumacher? And Brienne was like, who? Like, is that a big deal? I was like, only because he's like the monster behind Batman and Robin.
Right.
The
monster.
Wow.
So yeah, we had 4 voting options. West Side Story and Singing in the Rain. One's a remake of a classic. The other's a classic. They didn't get as much traction as I was hoping for.
Sorry, which is which?
So the Singing in the Rain is the classic. The Steven Spielberg West Side Story is the remake of the classic.
Right.
I was hoping for West Side Story. I remember enjoying it. The two in the finish line that were the most well received was 2012's Les Mis, and then 2004, I believe 2004's The Phantom of the Opera. And so quite clearly Phantom of the Opera won, and that's what we will talk about. But that's how we got there. Those were the options.
The film Singing in the Rain was released after a premiere at Radio City Music Hall on April 11th, 1952. That's fun because I don't think they do film premieres at Radio City Music Hall anymore. I've been to and inside of, like, I've taken in an event within Radio City Music Hall. It's just a fun, like, I don't know. To me, that's a total tangent, but to me, it is a fun artifact of the old days. Right. Of days gone by where you didn't need the massive, like, yeah, there was a red carpet, but there wasn't like blocks shut down and limos showing up and the press and the, you know, it wasn't this like, could only happen in LA type of thing.
Yep.
So, yeah. Phantom of the Opera.
Phantom of the Opera. I'm curious to see what your thoughts are.
I have a lot of opinions.
Because I feel like either, when you think a lot in a movie, when anyone, just generally speaking, it either means it's incredibly good and you can't stop thinking about aspects of it.
Right.
Or it means you have some critiques of it. Because if you're not really thinking about it at all, that usually means it's either, like, it's good, it's not really good, but it's not really bad.
Right. You're just kind of like,
I'm watching this. I'm entertained, but I don't need to think about it.
You're like, I don't know where to go with this.
Yeah. But if you're thinking about it, I feel like you're either loving it or hating it.
Right. So initial impressions.
I think it's time.
So I should preface all this with my history with Phantom of the Opera.
Sure.
My connection to Phantom of the Opera.
Yep.
I wrote it. And so
I wondered, you were awfully quiet about that when we were discussing it earlier.
And so I'm probably a little biased. No, we had
a phantom who lived in your
CD
school.
fashion.
Oh,
when I was growing up.
Interesting.
the soundtrack from the Broadway production.
Oh yeah, that
and
checks out.
this would be, I mean, we had it like early to mid 90s. So this is either a early to mid 90s or late 80s recording.
Sure.
Furthermore, Brienne, my significant other,
Yep.
has seen it on Broadway.
Oh wow.
She did with the chandelier falling from the ceiling, like the
Like
whole,
someone was killed watching it.
went and did the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's fun.
That is.
So all the and the reason why it's important to say that we had it on CD is from a young age, I had a love affair with this music.
Sure.
Not all of it.
Yeah.
I am not an opera guy.
Sure.
The
No.
and I can't tell what anyone's saying.
Yeah. It's in Italian and all these languages.
Yeah,
and...
like that to me doesn't do it.
No.
But I will, and this is my first hot take of the episode, and this is one of those where it's like it doesn't really apply to the film.
Yeah.
It's more the
Sure.
I don't know. The Phantom of the Opera suite, right? The bum 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 bottom bum 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 ju bum bum bum. And mind you, I have limited knowledge. I'm not, you know, the be all and end all of knowledge of the library of Broadway.
Sure.
Could be the greatest piece of music ever composed for the stage.
Could be.
It just invokes, listening to it invokes this energy and emotion that this is big and this is significant. Enough that at like the age of 5, I was hearing this and going, this is something special. And it wasn't just like my parents would put it on. No, I would go through the, like Rolodex or the like shelf of CD cases.
Yeah, that's sweet.
I would see the interesting looking, because it was like the half-faced mask.
And a woman.
And at like the age of 5 and 6, I was putting this CD on and finding the tracks that had that musical because I was fixated on it.
Yeah.
So all of that aside, I think this is my first time seeing the movie, by the way.
What?
Yeah. I think I'd seen clips of it. But this is my first time, like, full sit down watch through.
Yep.
I think it's good. Any of the gripes that I think I have with it are maybe more directed at the actual musical itself, and or the act of converting or translating something that works well on stage and nobody questions it,
right,
into a film, right? Like you're watching this film and you go, okay, great, I understand all that, but how did he get the organ down into the sewers, right? Like, or just some of the logistical stuff of like, why has nobody? There's this elaborate palace underneath the opera house that no one's ever explored, right? Like that's just able to be his domain, right? Like, so there's stuff like that where you have to suspend your disbelief.
You have to,
and I have no problem doing so. And so they're not really necessarily demerits.
Yep.
And then I mean we'll get into other things like Slap My Ass and Call Me Sally. I did not know Gerard Butler could sing like that. Good Lord.
Like, do you mean that in a good way or bad way?
Fantastic way.
Okay.
Right?
Because there's a lot of criticism. A lot of people don't like it.
Oh, really?
A lot of people, because at the time, I'm not sure if he's changed, but at the time, he was not trained on Broadway. Like, your BFF, Patrick Dempsey, was...
Wilson?
Patrick Wilson, sorry. Patrick Dempsey's someone else.
Someone else entirely. That's the Grey's Anatomy musical.
Patrick Wilson was, like, Broadway Like he had been on Broadway
Right.
prior to being in this film.
Right.
So like, that was a shoot, it makes sense. Gerard Butler had no formal musical training, was never on Broadway. So I don't have a problem with Gerard Butler, but I think it's interesting that you don't have a problem with it either, because a lot of people did.
And you know what? I think I like it more because I like his singing better than Patrick Wilson's, and I think the fact that it's less trained gives it a organic and real feeling quality versus a Broadway sounding nobody would actually sing like this, right? Like there's no emotion in what Patrick Wilson is singing because he's anyways, this is just my initial impression.
No, and it's okay to get in a tangent with you. The one thing I just want to say so it doesn't get lost.
Yep.
I don't know if I would agree that I like Gerard Butler more than Patrick Wilson. I think I'd prefer Patrick Wilson.
I didn't say that you like it better.
But I will agree with you.
Right.
That it adds a bit of like authenticity to the character because he's literally grown up.
Yeah.
He's raised himself in a dungeon.
In the sewer. Yeah.
So like, yeah, he has the talent to sing well, but yeah, he may be a little bit rough around the edges.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue with you.
So no, I mean, I've drolled on far too long for initial impression. No. I don't dislike this film. I think it's a good film.
I am so happy to hear that.
There's a lot of, again, not being a big opera fan, there's a lot of musical numbers where I'm just kind of waiting for that score to come back, waiting for the
Yep.
But I still had fun with it.
Yep.
So that's my initial impression.
My initial impression is similar to Brienne. I've not seen it on Broadway, but I love this. I was so happy when we found out this was what won and what we were reviewing. I've seen it not on Broadway, but I've seen it in the United Kingdom, professionally done in London.
Weird.
So good. So good.
Weird.
Yeah, it was so good.
Because it's set in
Paris.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's not authentic, but it was professionally done.
So did it... Sorry, go on.
No, yeah. So anyway, I've always had a special spot for this. Love the soundtrack, love the orchestral soundtrack, love the songs, love everything about it. So I was happy to talk about this. Happy to hear that you like it too. And I've seen it live. I've always cherished this. I enjoy the film. And yeah, I think there's things that you have to suspend your disbelief in, like when when Gerard Butler demands a ransom of 20,000 francs a month, you can't blame the managers for doing what they're doing. Like that is a lot of coin. When the chambermaid or whatever you'd call her, like her moral obligation of what she doesn't upkeep and she kind of lets happen what happened when she lets the phantom influence Christine and like she just kind of turns a blind eye. There's some things in here that if you explore it, you're gonna walk away and go, this is not okay, this is not good, this doesn't make sense. Like if you start breaking it down, it breaks down. But there's something about it that I love it. There's a question that I wonder maybe if it would be better served as a strategy. Strategy is not what I meant to say. A tragedy. I do wonder if it'd be better served as a tragedy, and we'll break that down later.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Because this film ended, and I said out loud to Brianne, I was like, oh, this is a tragedy.
Oh.
Like I thought it was.
We'll get to that.
My takeaway was that it very much was a tragedy. The tragedy of
the Phantom
of the Opera.
Let's get into that later, because I'll break that down a little bit.
You think he should have died?
No.
Okay.
Who am I to say? Gandalf would say no.
What?
Like it's not for us to choose.
Oh, not for us. It's just, just what we do at the time that we have.
Exactly. Yeah. But what I will say is there's some aspects to this that I love, like that opening theater sequence. Tell me you Tell me you didn't think of Titanic, where you go across the bow and you see the barnacles growing, and then as you elevate above the bow of the ship, it goes back to 1912, and you see the rejuvenation. And basically you go from like this decrepit old theater, the decrepit old Titanic, and then you go in this moment of time that rejuvenates it back to its glory, and you see it in its heyday, and you're transplanted back in time to like the prime. Everything's running at full cylinder. Right. Like there's that magical element to me of just recreating the past that I just loved.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because it takes it one step further
Yeah.
by having it in black and white
Yes.
in the opening,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Being a lifeless,
Yeah.
right? That this is not
Depraved of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I love that. I love aspects of it, and I'm happy to break it down, and I'm excited to break it down. My only thing that I still need to decide by the end of this episode is what I score it, and I think that'll be dictated by how our discussion goes.
So I just want to read this real quick.
I'd love it.
because this was something I didn't realize.
Okay.
The Phantom of the Opera
Okay.
is a novel. Starts as a novel
Okay.
by French author Gaston Leroux. It was first published as a serial in Le Galeos. I'm probably butchering that. From September 23rd, 1909
Oh, geez.
to January 8th, 1910. It was released in volume form in late March 1910. The novel is partially inspired by the historical events of blah blah blah. So it starts out as a novel. Then there's a film adaptation in 1925. There's another film adaptation in 1943.
Oh, geez.
And I'm curious when this becomes a stage production.
I thought it was like the 80s, but I could be wrong.
And so does this start out on Broadway? Like is the home of the Phantom of the Opera musical on Broadway? Because obviously the novel's not a musical. So I'm so curious to read this. Like it's a French novel.
Yeah.
But I'd be so curious to read this because, like, in its genesis, The Phantom of the Opera is not a musical.
Right.
It's a novel.
Right.
Which is obviously not a musical.
I'm looking 1986 West End, and then
I don't know what that is. Is that Broadway?
I think it's off Broadway because 88 is when it started on Broadway.
Okay.
So it was out for about 3 years before Broadway.
But in New York. They're like it starts in New York.
Yeah.
So I think this is besides the point of the film,
Sure.
but but it's something that I was thinking about while watching it. I'm surprised to find out that it was a novel. I'm surprised to find out that it was a story that existed for 70 some odd years before ever making it to stage.
Right.
That it was just a film, that there had been multiple films.
Yeah.
Because this is a story that lends itself beautifully to an opera,
It does.
to being a stage production
Yeah.
with a dropping chandelier, because you are, for much of it, it's kind of it's like meta and interactive because you are sitting in an opera house watching, you're in the opera house. Right? It's sort of like the queue of a ride or the line of a ride at Universal Studios, where you're walking through the Daily Planet on the way into the Spider-Man ride, right? Where they're trying to immerse you.
It's a story that needs to be in theater almost. Like it adds an extra layer.
It adds this layer where you're like, we're sitting in the theater, we're sitting in the opera house, that the Phantom, because the chandelier is hanging above us, and it is going to drop, and we are the audience of the opera. The Phantom, right? And so to me, that's like, and so what I was going to say is maybe this doesn't adapt well to film in that sense because because you lose that element. However, what I'm now discovering, and it's destroying my entire understanding of everything, is that it was adapted to stage.
Right. It wasn't staged to book or to film or to whatever.
Well, shit. That screws everything up. Screws everything up.
Everything.
Son of a bitch. Okay. I think Gerard Butler is great.
I find that interesting because when I was doing some reading on it, looks like Hugh Jackman was one of the considerations.
Huge jacked man.
Huge jackman. So I feel like if you're making like an intellectual decision, he probably would have been the more clear choice. I don't know if how accurate it is. I saw some musings of like John Travolta, which would have been death, or Matthew McConaughey, which would have just been such a wrong fit. I don't have a huge problem with...
What was the one before before Matthew McConaughey?
John Travolta.
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah. I don't have a huge problem with Gerard Butler, but just for context, apparently there was a big, like, oh, wow, you've made a mistake when this movie came out.
Interesting.
That you've chosen. Because remember, this is like pre-300. This is like, he wasn't a big name. So, you know, it's not like Mamma Mia, where you, me, and everyone's dog knows Pierce Brosnan and can't sing, but it's still Pierce Brosnan. You know what I mean? But it's still Pierce Brosnan.
That's part of the charm.
He's still going to sell tickets. He's still James Bond. Like, everyone loves Pierce Brosnan. With Gerard Butler, like, you know...
No, Butner. Butner works.
Butner. I'm not pronouncing anything right tonight. You know, that's more of like a creative decision because it's not necessarily a star power at that time.
Hugh Jackman had to go do Van Helsing, which was not well received.
I mean, in hindsight, it was a poor decision on his part.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
maybe it wasn't a choice.
No, he was locked in.
Probably contractually. Of note, can I jump? Because I won't make it.
Katie Holmes almost played.
Shut the computer.
Sorry.
Stop.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not going to. I had a trivia question done. Time is our enemy tonight, so I'm not going to stretch it out to a full question.
Okay. No, do it.
But okay. So there's a Batman connection for considerations of Christine's part. Originally, like you just said, Katie Holmes.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that wasn't the question.
Okay.
Katie Holmes was the front runner. She was eventually replaced by Anne Hathaway. So there's the Spider-Man or the Batman connection. Anne Hathaway, Katie Holmes.
Anne Hathaway was supposed to play.
Anne Hathaway, who was also a classically trained soprano,
Yes,
was going to be the next choice. However, she dropped out of the role because of a schedule conflict with another film. What was the other film that she had a scheduling conflict
2004.
with? So I'll give you a couple choices. Brokeback Mountain.
Is Anne Hathaway in Brokeback Mountain?
Yep.
Oh, the more you know.
The Princess Diaries 2, Royal Engagement.
I knew one of those was going to end up on this list.
Or The Devil Wears Prada.
Okay, so of these films, I've only seen Princess Diaries 2. I've never seen Devil Wears Prada.
Yep.
I'm aware that we need to rectify that.
I've never seen it, so we probably should do it.
And ultimately, and here's the thing, because I was working adjacent to, I was working at a restaurant in 2004.
Okay. Where Anne Hathaway was.
Well, no, wait, is part of the trick, like, did all three of these films come out in 2004?
They did not.
No, okay. I was working at a restaurant next door to a movie theater. The restaurant was owned by the man who owned the movie theater.
Nice. That's the dream.
When Brokeback Mountain came out.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it was a different time.
It was a different time. Big time.
And I was like 13.
Oh, jeez.
Too young to be employed, by the way.
Sure.
But I was 13 washing dishes in this,
nice.
making
sweatshop.
Making like it. I mean, at the time, I think minimum wage here was like
$6, $7,
$7 something.
I remember that.
But it was still like at 13, I was making bank.
That's enough to buy games and PS2 stuff, and like that's all you
or
need.
Xbox because I'm not a loser. Sorry, but I remember. I remember the.
Just so you know, I remember once as a kid, there was like some social interaction that a kid came over to my house. It was like while my parents were doing something, and my mom had inadvertently said to the other kid, like, "Yeah, come, you'll have fun with Pete. He's a big Xbox guy." And the kid was like, "Sweet, I'm an Xbox guy too."
Oh no!
And my mom was not synonymous. Like she didn't know what was what. Comes over and like I have a PS2, and you could just see the soul escaping from this kid, going, "It's a PS2. Big difference as a kid, and now I'm stuck here for 2 hours based on this woman's bad intel."
Kudos to your mom that she knew Xbox, because I feel like the more stereotypical thing would be like, doesn't matter what gaming system you have.
Right.
You want to come play on Pete's Nintendo? Right? Like,
exactly.
on his Sega?
Yeah, it's like, you know what? At least you got one of them right.
Right.
You know, it's like...
And I that's not what your mom sounds like,
No,
for the record.
For the record. Even 20 years ago, she didn't sound like that.
Well, I didn't know her then, so
No.
it could have been.
No.
It was a stab in the dark.
But yeah,
Okay,
so sorry.
so
yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
and I remember the concession worker guy from the movie theater coming over because we would keep like some of the extra cups and stuff like that in the storage of the restaurant. And I was 13, right? And it was, like almost 20 years ago. That's gross. And
Yeah, it's not cool. Not cool
oh.
to do that. Yeah.
Interesting.
What?
I think I just ruled out an option.
Okay.
But anyways, it was almost 20 years ago.
Sure.
And so different time. I was 13, stupid kid.
Yep.
This concession guy was much older than I was.
Sure.
So like he has less of an excuse. But we were making fun of Brokeback Mountain because it was playing in the theater.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, it was the gay cowboy
And it was
movie.
2005. It doesn't mean it was okay.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Doesn't mean any, like nothing. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Just different time.
So
People
anyways,
made inappropriate
so as a
jokes.
result, I have never seen Brokeback Mountain.
I've never seen it. Yeah.
I would like to.
Sure. I'm sure.
Because
yeah.
I think it's probably actually a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe it sucks. So I don't think it's Brokeback Mountain because I'm realizing the age that I was, how long ago that was, the fact that, by the way, I can't
But it doesn't matter when it's
believe-
released. It's when they were filmed.
Right.
Yeah.
But I can't believe that Phantom of the Opera, that this film is 20 years old. Like that struck me as surprising.
Yeah.
I thought maybe like 15, but 20 seemed shocking.
Yeah.
Princess Diaries 2, I kind of feel like is older than that. Or is younger than that. It came out after.
Yep. In the interest of time, I will say you should guess, and then we'll move on. So Anne Hathaway was unable to join Phantom of the Opera as a result of which of those films?
But when was the first Princess Diaries? Maybe 2001 or 2?
2001, I will say.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna say Princess Diaries 2, thinking it's probably Devil Wears Prada, but I've mentally pretty much entirely ruled out Brokeback Mountain.
So it was Princess Diaries 2.
Yeah.
And you know what? I've not seen it. I've seen the first one. I will not say it's bad or good or either or anything, but I feel like of the two, Phantom of the Opera would have been the bigger footprint in her portfolio.
Yeah, but you know I can't believe you haven't seen Princess Diaries 2. You know who's in Princess Diaries 2?
Tom Cruise.
John Rhys Davies.
So, I don't like him.
Gimli?
Oh, never mind. I do like him. Sorry. I thought you were talking about someone else.
No, Gimli.
Oh, okay.
And that's when you get to see that like Gimli's actually like
6 feet tall.
6'2" or something.
So
like
you
that.
know who I thought you were talking about? I thought you meant Jonathan Rhys Meyers.
No,
he
who's
just looks
that?
like a
Is
huge
he in
douche.
Princess Diaries
He's
2?
not.
Oh, he's
not.
no. Okay.
He just looks like a huge douche.
Anyways,
Anyway,
moving on.
Okay, so yeah,
What do I win?
my undying love and support.
Oh, it's good to know that I didn't already have that.
So yeah, Gerard Butler was decent. He was fine.
Yeah.
I love Patrick Wilson.
I am a big fan of Patrick Wilson.
I wish he
I didn't
was
like him in this.
Oh, okay. It's not his best role. It's still early in his career. He is like Dick Van Dyke in that I wish he was in more things. Because a lot of the things I like him in, like I like him in almost every role he plays. Unfortunately, just a lot of those roles are scary horror movies for me, and that's just not my niche. But every role he's in, I appreciate him.
Hey, man.
I know.
This Thursday.
So
This
here's
Thursday,
the
we're
thing.
watching the last Conjuring film, Carl and I.
But even then, like The Conjuring 2, when he's singing,
Elvis?
yes, like that 3 minutes alone.
You watched it?
I've watched Conjuring 2.
Oh.
That snippet alone, like, evokes tears because he's just so, because
He's amazing.
You know
He
the
has
character
heart.
he's playing, but you know the heart behind it,
Yeah.
and then he actually just, the actor himself performs it well.
Yeah.
So I wish he was in more things.
I didn't like him in this, not because I didn't like his performance, but because, like, in maybe this is a good time to talk about this, but I don't think you're supposed to like his character in this.
Well,
right? Like but that's where it gets weird because like the Phantom is the titular character.
Mm-hmm. I think you're supposed to like him more than the Phantom.
But he's not exactly he's not a protagonist, but he's not fully an antagonist either.
Yeah.
Like he's not the hero, but
not the villain.
Feels aggressive to go as far as calling him the villain.
No, he's not. He doesn't kill people.
No.
And he doesn't manipulate her. Like he doesn't emulate a ghost and prey on the post-traumatic stress of a woman who's lost her father and thinking that it's her father speaking to her from beyond the grave as in the form of an angel.
Either though. He doesn't tell her that he's not, and he knows that she thinks that.
Oh no, but that's what I'm saying. Like the Phantom doesn't set her straight.
Yes.
Patrick Wilson doesn't prey on this stuff. Like that's what I'm saying. He doesn't kill people. He doesn't prey on her post-traumatic stress. Like for that reason, he's not a villain, and I think we are to root for him.
But despite so I was saying the Phantom. I was saying the Phantom's not exactly the hero, but it also feels aggressive to call him the villain.
Oh, he's a villain.
Is he though?
Yeah. So friend of the show, Nathan Grudman. I'll tag him in this because he's an OG of the show, but B, I commented on a post this recently. Yes, he's a villain. He's a scarred villain. Like he's one of the most layered villains we've ever seen in film or show or theater.
He's like the Elephant Man.
You absolutely, like if you don't shed a tear in that scene, like how can you not? Like he's a boy getting beaten by a stick based off his physical appearance. But that doesn't mean that it's okay for him to kill, kidnap, or maim people, which he does.
Right. So
he's a complicated villain.
But do you not feel like while you're watching it, there's a part of you, because he is the titular character and it's the Phantom and Christine, that there's a part of you that despite all of that wants Christine to end up with him? Like that's the love story.
At times, but there's also times where he pulls back the curtain and there's like the lifelike wax rendition of her sitting there and you go, okay, like let's take a deep breath here.
But not because he's like, but he's so segregated and alone and like, who knows that you wouldn't be as creepy.
You feel bad for him for sure.
The reason why I don't like Patrick Wilson's character in this is because I think, and this is going to get a laugh, but I actually genuinely meet, like, you know, it's a very, like, despite the fact that I doubt he can sing, this is a role you cast James Marsden in. Like this is a role. Do you know what I mean? It's that role where it's the Cyclops of the X-Men universe, right? Where he is the one that is supposed to be with Jean Grey. But you want Jean Grey and Wolverine to have a little romp in the sheets because their love is steamier. It's more look. Patrick Wilson's character in this is a nice guy.
Yeah,
he's a nice, and that's also kind of why he loses. But he's a nice guy.
And the one thing I'll sidestep, because another critique at the time was the huge age difference between Christine and between Patrick Wilson, and between it's like 10 years or 15 years or something. The thing is, I will say, is Hollywood was a different time back then. Also, let's be honest, this is set in 1870. Sadly, there was like that's just how it was.
And I don't even know that's I don't know that it's sadly, but
so I think the only reason it's sadly is just because they talk about their old flame of a love when like 10 years ago. So she would have been like 9 and he would have been like 25.
You know what I discovered last night at 3 a.m. when I was supposed to be sleeping instead of Googling?
That I don't know.
You know Robert Duvall?
Robert Duvall.
Like the really acclaimed Robert Duvall, the actor.
Oh yeah, from The Judge.
He's in The Judge. Yeah. He was in the Nick Cage Gone in 60 Seconds. Okay, he's fantastic. Yeah. 93 years old.
Good for him.
His wife is 52. right? And stuff like that is like, well,
Same with Dick Van Dyke.
I was just gonna say Dick Van
Yeah.
Dyke. And here's the thing: you go, oh, I didn't realize that. No, that's a little Robert Duvall. But no, friggin' Dick Van Dyke,
Yeah.
98 years old. His wife, Arlene Silver, who he married 12 years ago, is not important enough to have her own IMDb page or Wikipedia page. She's 46.
Right.
46.
Right. Yeah.
There's a 52-year age gap.
That's actually nuts. I'm not saying it's bad or good. It's just a lot of time.
He was 52 years old when she took her first breath, right? And I'm like, yeah, it's weird, but if they're happy,
For sure.
then I don't care.
I think it's more just in the context of like the whole premise is they had a young love.
Yeah.
And so like he would have been like 20 and she was like 9 or
So at the end of the day, I think Patrick Wilson's character is nice. However, there is something more romantic and spicy about the love and the attraction, the draw between Christine and the Phantom.
You could like
It's
I
that
think
forbidden, dangerous love.
I won't even go there. I could see how you can make a point of that.
Yeah.
For me, it's more like, hey, Phantom and her actually have a connection over their like passions and interests of music. As with Patrick Wilson,
Yeah.
not Dempsey.
No.
Patrick Wilson. And
I
her,
wouldn't recommend
It's
if you're in New York and you're wondering what do I see on Broadway,
Don't
the
see.
Grey's Anatomy show is not.
Not.
No.
As soon as Katherine Hagel left the musical,
No.
it just wasn't.
Well, and what's weird about it is it's like it's 48 seasons condensed into a 3-hour play.
That's a lot.
And there's hardly any dialogue because in order to get
Right.
these 17 characters to all have sex with each other, die, and then come back to life, it eats up a lot
it does.
of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like her and his relationship is more like, hey, we knew each other.
Right.
We maybe actually don't even have that much in common anymore.
I pulled
to
your
be honest.
pigtails in kindergarten.
Right. Like what relationship
You're
do
supposed
they
to
have?
be, you're supposed to be with me because
Yeah.
I'm good
Rich
looking.
and
I'm
white.
Yes, I'm rich and you're supposed to bear my children.
Okay, is this an okay time to say would this have been better served as a tragedy?
We can unpack that. I
Sure.
think I am curious. I am curious to hear how you think it wasn't.
So I think it's maybe all about what lens you look at it in.
Right.
Because
I
at
don't
the
have
end of the
glasses.
day, for me, a tragedy is like there's some turning back point and then some catastrophe happens. This, I understand what you're saying. It's a tragedy from his perspective
not a happy
because he's
ending.
alone. Not for him. But it's a happy ending in that Patrick Wilson and Christine end up together. They do. They do. Because you've only seen it once. I'll remind you. He goes to the gravestone.
Yes.
And whatever year it is, it's 1917 or 1927,
yeah.
whatever it is. She's only been
just
dead.
survived the Titanic and now he's
See, I wish he was in Titanic. That would be dope. The film.
not the wreckage.
Not the wreck.
Thank you for clarifying what you meant there.
So in the context, she's only been dead for 2 years. So they had a life together. Like if you look at the tombstone, she was married. She took on his name. I think they even had kids, but I forget that
Did she
part.
take on his name? Okay, I missed
I'm
that.
pretty sure. But regardless, the point is she was married to him. They spent their life together. The tragedy is just that you see the rose, you see the ring there, knowing the Phantom never forgot her, always followed her, but respected her space, knowing he wanted her to be happy.
That doesn't seem like his MO.
Well, I guess he learned. So what I wonder if it would have been better served as a tragedy is having that point of no return. And I feel it had been so long that I forgot how it ended. I honestly thought this is where it was going. I thought there was it cued for this point of no return is where Christine is sitting in the pit of whatever it's called, her dressing room, combing her hair, getting ready for the big twist where she's the bait. And she has this gut feeling. She's like, I've got this bad feeling. Are you sure we should do this? And Patrick Wilson is like goading her like, no, we have to do it. And I think there would have been maybe a bit more meat to chew on that bone if Christine dies inadvertently, because you can't have it that the Phantom kills her. But say when somehow in the chase, somehow in the climax of the excitement of everyone chasing,
equally guilty, both equally innocent,
or just something, or even as a result of just not walking away, she dies. I think that would have been a bit more of a chaos, a bit more of a mishap. That both A, the biggest tragedy is that she dies, but B, then he's heartbroken, Patrick Wilson's heartbroken, and they both end with just having, the men, you still have it end the same way. Patrick Wilson's 90 and he's going to the gravestone remorsing on this mistake, and then he notices the rose there, and that implies the Phantom was also remorseful. I just wonder if there was, I think I would have been interested to see that too. I think that would be an interesting, I think it could be served as a tragedy.
After the events of Phantom of the Opera, Christine married Raoul.
I should call him that instead of Patrick Wilson.
Vicomte de Chagny.
That's exactly.
And gave birth to a son, Gustave.
Right.
Despite their initial happiness, things gradually began to go wrong for the couple. Christine's career never received a level of praise that she earned at the Phantom Populari, forcing her to leave the stage, and Raoul's increasing gambling addiction.
Oh, no, stop reading. Okay. Where are you reading this off of?
The Phantom of the Opera wiki.
Don't read that. So let me just stop.
Why?
Because this is actually super important. I need you to just stop.
Okay.
So let's just put a pin, or we can be done with the conversation, but let's just put a pin on, I think there could have been meat on the bone for a tragedy.
Yes. And so then what I will say, just to pin your pin, is so this is all news to me. I had interpreted it the other way around.
Sure.
Because it doesn't actually show you unless you, I guess, read the name on the tombstone.
I've seen it a few times, so I've had the benefit of rewatching.
And
knowing
so
it.
my takeaway was she ended up with the Phantom.
No.
And no, I'm just telling you what.
Yeah.
So that she ended up with the Phantom, and that Patrick Wilson never got over her, and now post-mortem visits her grave. That he spent his life alone longing for her.
I see what you mean.
Because he's a James Marsden character.
Yeah.
But, okay, so interesting. So why don't you want me spoiling the plot of the Phantom of the Opera?
So this leads to my next question perfectly.
All right.
I love this movie. I love this play.
Okay.
I love the story about it. And even though it's not the tragedy I just described, it is a sad ending of, just the realities of the sadness of the villain.
Well,
but
someone
also,
was going to lose.
Yeah, so I think there's rich and it's excellent. You also have a very interesting point that, sequels do them. They can't ruin things. It won't remove the DVD you have on the shelf, but just always take the chance.
Oh, it was Netflix. But
What? No, but should we make sequels or not?
Yeah.
This is the Toy Story 4 question.
Should they make a sequel?
No. The question is, does Toy Story 4 damage 1 through 3? Not that 4 is so bad, but that it ruins some underpinnings of characters that you... things that happen in Toy Story 4 goes, well, wait, that's not what Woody did in 1 through 3, and because he's doing that in 4, it means he doesn't believe those things anymore. Well, it ruins the story.
And I mean... in a lot of ways, my answer to this, because my answer to this is the same. It is, when it comes to something like Toy Story, I have to take the same medicine that I try to administer to Carl when it comes to Star Wars, right? And Carl goes, well, I don't like the Carl won't listen to this. He's like, with Phantom of the Opera? Carl says, I don't like the Disney Star Wars is stupid. He's like, I love Star Wars.
He does say that.
I love Star Wars. I just don't like the Disney Star Wars.
Yep.
That's not what Luke would do. Mm-hmm. And my response is, well, then I think maybe you, and this is not just Carl, it's like half the fandom.
Yep.
My response is, well, then maybe you don't like Star Wars as much anymore as you used to, is actually a more apt description, because you could say that isn't what Luke would do, but it is what Luke did. Like, this is canon now. This is the story. You don't have to like the story, but it is the story. And so as much as I don't like, because I was in the same boat, I was like, I don't know that Woody would just become a lost toy. Like, he cares too much about, but he did. But he did become a lost toy, and that, whether I like it or not, that's a part of the canon. And now that there's a Toy Story 5 coming,
you need it.
They're not going to retcon that. I mean, maybe Woody will end up back with, like, somehow Woody's going to end up with the gang again. So whether Woody ends up with a new owner, or all of the other toys become lost toys, or, whatever it is, they're not going to do a movie without Woody, and they're not going to do a movie with just Woody.
No.
And so my answer, and I still don't know where you're going with this or how you tie it into Phantom, but my answer is, what was the question? The question is...
Does Toy Story 4 ruin the series?
No. It's a direction. It's a different direction than what I wish they had gone in. It wasn't the movie I was hoping it would be. Yeah. But it is what it is, and that is the story.
Let me tie it back in. So I think I might just have to fundamentally disagree, and that's just my opinion on certain pieces of work. So what happened with this is there's not a sequel to the film, but there's a sequel to the play. And I'm not sure if it's on Broadway, but there is a play sequel to this.
So is there a sequel to the book?
Yeah. I don't know.
Because then that becomes
I don't know if it's a book or if it's just been a play.
Okay.
But there's just some things that if I never want to see this sequel, because it just undoes a lot of the magic that is this story to me. So it turns out that Christine... so the reason I had you stop was because what you were reading is stuff that is unveiled in the sequel.
Next play.
So yeah, she feels that her career is kaput. She moves to America. She's part of like some underground circus or performing show. She's married to Raoul, but then the night before their wedding, the Phantom shows up and she has an affair, and that's who's the father of the son. A whole lot of shit goes on. Like, and I don't know what the perception of the play is. I don't know if people love it, people hate it, or whatnot. But for me, I don't want to touch it. And I feel like the Phantom story in just this closed vacuum of just this one story is so perfect to me. And I love how it ends, and it makes you feel emotionally unsettled because you feel bad for everyone involved, because Christine obviously has feelings for the Phantom obviously gets left in the dark, and anything beyond that, undoing all those emotional perfections, to me, just I don't have the emotional interest in seeing. But yeah, a lot of that stuff you were reading is from a sequel play that I think for me would ruin this. Like, I think if I viewed that, I would view the movie differently, and that would be upsetting to me.
I am not seeing a sequel to the book.
So it must just be a play.
It was just
a book.
A play sequel. Sequel.
I don't even remember what it's called.
To Phantom of the Opera. Love Never Dies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's something so... It's the lightning in a bottle that is Phantom of the Opera for me. I just don't want to deflate any of that air from the balloon by watching the sequel.
So there was a book called The Phantom of Manhattan, which was written as a sequel to the Phantom of the Opera book by a different author. So I don't know. I don't know how rights come into that and stuff like that. So it wasn't. See, and so then I'm a little more. Because initially I was like, I don't know, just, going off script and continuing the story on Broadway, that's a little janky.
Right.
But if there is a book,
yeah,
then I'm a little more into it.
Yeah, I'm not there.
Interesting. So you don't want to know.
I don't even want to know. I glimpsed at some premise aspects of it, and that was enough for me. Almost too much, arguably.
Interesting. Okay. Well, that's besides nicer.
So,
but the Phantom's still in it, and see, but that's the thing. I would love to see more of the Phantom interacting with. Yeah, and I get where you. But I don't think they've ever done.
But I just want, like, I love that after their interaction, he respects her and he never sees her again, and that aspect of only once she's passed, he leaves the rose.
There is a film. 2012.
Yeah, I'm out. I would have to be strong-armed into watching that.
Okay.
Challenge accepted. Anything else you want?
Oh, it's a play, or it's a film.
Oh, recording of the
It's
play.
a film of, it looks like what they did with Hamilton. That could be fun.
I mean,
That could be fun.
could be.
I wonder if they ever thought of continuing. I'm not seeing anything about like that the Joel Schumacher one that they considered doing a sequel.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
where are we at? You ready to?
I think I'm ready to rank her.
Okay, on a scale of 0 to 10, sir, how would you rank the Phantom of the? No, wait, hang on. No, it is. Le Fantôme de l'Opéra.
We're going to break tradition here. I really want you to go first for ranking.
Okay.
Because
0.
I really need it to gauge how I'm going to rank it. I need to hear what your thoughts are.
Right. Well, you're supposed to rank it in a vacuum. But
I know, but the vacuum's broken today.
I would say 6.8.
Oh, wow. That's a lot lower than I thought.
It's good. To me, there's just enough droll. Mm-hmm. There's enough sections that I don't care about. Mm-hmm. And so
almost as much as the chambermaid doesn't care about Christine. And letting this happen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I like it. I think it's fun. Going into it, I had no idea Patrick Wilson was in it. Right. Going into it, I had no idea Gerard Butler was a Phantom.
Right.
Like, that was oh shit moment. Mm-hmm. That was a me perusing IMDb, because in some shots, it looks like him. But in some, largely, you can't tell.
No.
Until
he goes,
and
this
you don't
is Sparta.
Once he says
this is Sparta, then you go, okay. All right.
He looks at Christine and
kicks
and
her
he
into
says,
a pit.
And P.S. I love you. And then but yeah. So that was just me perusing IMDb while watching and going, holy shit! Yeah. So 6.8. I think it's good. I would recommend it to people. Mm-hmm. It's not, I might watch it again in 10 years.
Yeah.
But I'm not. I don't need to see it again tomorrow.
No.
Yeah.
No.
What say you?
It's not perfect. I'm not going to give it a 10. I think I would have to give it an 8. If I'm basing it off the soundtrack alone, if I'm basing it off of the music, I lean towards a 9 at times. But I think the more rounded answer I can live with is an 8. And it's tough because when your emotion gets involved with music
than me.
Oh yeah, like when I've been listening to this soundtrack nonstop for the last 2 weeks, and there's times depending on the track that's on, I'm like, oh, I need to give this like a 9. But I think like there's some clunky aspects to it. There's some aspects that are raw. I think as a film, when you look at it holistically, I would give it an 8. That doesn't mean I still love it. I still love the cinematography. I love that it was nominated for 3 Oscars. I like Patrick Wilson. I like all the main characters in this. But I think an 8, and that's still good. It's still respectable, but it's grounded.
Okay.
Yeah.
What'd you watch this week?
I watched a few things. I watched the Simpsons movie.
Uh-huh.
I hadn't seen it since probably 15 plus years.
Yeah.
I gave it a 3 out of 10.
Why? Because they killed Green Day? That's fair. That's fair.
It just, a lot of the stuff didn't land as much as I remembered it landing.
Yeepaw! Yeepaw!
Yeah, I don't know. I found Homer a little annoying in this.
It's like more so than the show?
Yeah, just because
Was it the Spider Pig thing?
No, I that's funny. I think it's just because they're playing on the whole, like, hey, he's being selfish. Hey, he's not thinking of others.
Right.
And at times it was just quite annoying. I'm like, all right, that's just unreasonable. So I gave it a 3 out of 10. Just wasn't as funny as I remembered it being.
How much did your timidness around young cartoon penises play into the...
Neither here nor there.
Hats off to them.
Neither here nor there.
That was a bold thing that they did, and it's fun.
I mean, The Simpsons is nothing if not bold. Like,
yes.
From day one to now,
yeah,
they didn't get to where they are by just playing lukewarm.
Well, and they've taught Seth MacFarlane, the guy behind Family Guy, because for years they've been talking about doing a Family Guy movie, and they're like, oh yeah, if we did a Family Guy movie, it would be
one.
hard R. No.
Yeah, there totally is one.
No.
I watched it in like high school.
No.
Okay, when we talk about...
There might be like extended episodes. Like I think the Star Wars episodes are like 40-minute episodes or something, but there's not a feature length.
Are you sure?
Family Guy, yes.
Family Guy movie.
Look who you're talking to.
2005, Stewie Griffin, The Untold Story, 1 hour and 28 minutes. 2005.
Yeah, but that's not like not in the same way that...
Oh, direct to video.
Yeah, it's not like a cinematic.
Yeah,
go to the theater.
No.
See Lois's boobs. See Brian finally have sex with Lois.
Right,
like, you know.
The next movie I watched was The Other Woman. You've seen it? You know what I'm talking about? It stars
Cameron Diaz. Kate Upton. Leslie Mann.
Yeah. Nicki Minaj. The guy from...
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a brief role.
I thought you were just screwing with me there.
No.
Don Johnson?
Yep. It plays Nicolaj Coster-Waldau. I think he's in Game of Thrones.
Patrick Dempsey?
I wish. 2014 comedy romance. I gave it a 6 out of 10. It is what it is. You put it on. You want some laughs.
Did you watch this alone?
No.
Oh, okay.
I watched it with someone and they picked it, but I was open to it because I've seen it before. It's funny.
Your son?
No, my wife.
Okay.
The Other Woman is what I watched. I gave it a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
It's fine. Top Gun Maverick is the last thing I watched this week.
Again? Didn't you just watch it a couple of weeks ago?
This is my list. This overlapped when I... the time-space continuum is...
Right.
I only watched it once. In the last couple of weeks.
Okay.
But I'll watch it again when I get home.
Tonight, yeah. All right.
I think I got to give it a 10 out of 10. Like, at this point...
Yeah.
Like, years later, I still watch it. I still love it. I still get goosebumps. Spoiler alert, so skip 30 seconds if you don't want it ruined. At the end, when... Goose saves Maverick and Maverick says thanks for saving me and Goose says that's what my dad would have done.
You cry?
I literally friggin' cry.
Yeah.
Like, a movie evokes emotion and it does it so successfully, and you have to admit, like, visually that movie was nuts.
Yeah.
Like, it's everything you want in a Legacy sequel.
It's insane.
I even remember when we first heard how much footage was used to make this movie.
More than all of Lord of the Rings.
You and
combined.
I were like, what is happening? Like, this is just a movie about jets. Where are we going with this?
How many hours of footage was shot for Top Gun Maverick? 800 hours.
Yeah. Like, just unfathomable. And it makes sense. In hindsight, you see what the product was and you can justify it. But at the time, when the news cracked, you and I were both scratching our heads going, what is
happening?
Why?
Yeah.
And you got to believe in Tom Cruise. You just have to.
Yeah.
So a 10 out of 10, that is a movie I can give perfection to, and I just chef's kiss it.
Cool.
What did you watch this week?
I can't remember if we talked about this already or not. We watched Fellowship of the Ring.
No, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, so I watched Fellowship of the Ring with my mom.
Because you've worked through The Hobbit.
Yeah, we worked through The Hobbit, watched Fellowship of the Ring with my mom. She's excited to watch Two Towers.
The best of them.
I was skipping ahead on YouTube today.
Yep.
So to piggyback off your emotional response to the end of Top Gun Maverick, and I can't go into too many details here because I'm sure she will listen to this, and I don't want her to... You
don't want it to be ruined.
But I was watching some scenes from the last half hour of Return of the King, and even without the context of having just gone on the journey, those couple of words, the The four words.
Yeah.
The four words that I think are, and I've said in the past, are possibly the four most powerful words ever spoken in film. And I'm like sobbing. And it's just like I'm just watching that scene. I haven't gone on the journey yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts.
So wait, which four words? Meats back on the menu?
Yeah.
No, that's fine.
Boys.
Always.
Yeah.
Oh, I look forward. I'm happy for you because that's such a fun journey to go on with your mom.
It's just
because
like, it's so good.
Just the first time watch experience.
And someone, I was watching a YouTube video today, and someone said this, and it's bold, but I agree 100%. The original trilogy, Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
Right, we have to call it that now because there's The Hobbit as well.
Yep.
The original Peter Jackson Middle Earth trilogy, Lord of the Rings, is superior to the original Star Wars trilogy. It is superior.
You have to.
It is a better...
Yeah.
Like, I think in many ways, the original Star Wars trilogy was more groundbreaking.
Oh, of course.
It was more... It did more for film.
It did. But like pound for pound, of
but
the
how
quality,
you feel,
the quality,
how you feel at the end of watching 3 versus the other 3, it's incomparable. So watched that. Last night. Watched Beetlejuice in preparation for Beetlejuice. It's so good. It's just so good.
I will admit, Michael Keaton is entertaining to watch in anything that he's in. The Founder, Beetlejuice, both very similar.
Yeah, just moments of like.
Oh, actually, Patrick
Batman.
Wilson is in The Founder. Sorry,
Is
my
he?
brain was just
Is he?
synapsing there.
Is he?
Yeah, I forget who, but he's in it.
One of the like other rich.
Yeah,
Dudes.
rich white dude.
Because the other guy that's in
I'm
that
noticing a
is
pattern of all the
who's the other guy
characters.
that's in that? Nick Offerman
Yes.
is in The Founder.
Yeah.
And it's great in
It
that
is.
role.
Yeah,
I need to rewatch that.
you do.
Yeah, so watch that.
Nice.
And I think that's it.
Nice.
That's it. Yeah, just watched more House.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Wrap it up, sir.
Well, thank you so much for listening. Whether you are a fan
Dumb.
of Phantom of the Opera,
Welcome to our fandom.
or you've been with us all along, thank you for joining us. Check out the socials below. Please do give us a like, follow, subscribe on whatever platform you're listening, whatever social media outlet you use the most. Check out our Patreon page, merchandise page. It's ways for you to support the show, ways for us to say thank you for supporting the show. And we truly do thank you for being along with us. And until next time, just drop 20,000 francs in our Patreon account and save us a booth in your favorite opera house, and we'll have no problems.
As long as it's not for the Grey's Anatomy opera, because nobody wants to see that.